Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain about a very important concept in FIT is block diagram of computer or the elements of computer or the components of computer. Okay, today's topic block diagram of computer. So in this session you are going to learn about block diagram of computer or the elements of computer or the components of computer. In the last session, in the previous session, we discussed about what is computer and advantage of computers. Already we have seen advantage of computers or benefits of computers or characteristics of computers. In this session, we will discuss about block diagram of computer. Computer has mainly three components or three elements. They are number 1 input devices, 2 CPU, 3 output devices. Okay, so these are the three components of computer. These are the three elements of computer. Okay, input devices, CPU and output devices. Right, first input devices. What is input? The information that is given to the computer is called input, and the devices that are used for sending input to the computer are called input devices. Okay, here what is called input? The information that is given to the computer is called input. The thing that is given to the computer is called input, and the devices that are used for sending input, the devices that are used for sending input to the computer are called input devices. Okay, so what is an input device? An input device that gives numbers. An input device that gives numbers and instructions to the computer. Some of the input devices are, here I will list out all the input devices. Keyboard. So these are examples of input devices. Okay, keyboard, mouse, scanner, microphone, joysticks, barcode reader, light pen, touch screen, etc. Okay, all these devices are comes under input devices. All these are examples of input devices. Okay, so in the coming video, okay, in the next session, we will discuss about all these input devices in detail. Okay, right, so that is about input devices. And next, CPU. Next component next element of computer, CPU. CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. Okay. The full form of CPU is Central Processing Unit. CPU stands for what? Central Processing Unit. It is also called a processor. Okay. CPU is also called as processor. And CPU is the brain of the computer, we can say. Okay, CPU is the brain of the computer. CPU is the main part of the computer. It is the main part of the computer. Okay. So what CPU does? CPU takes information. CPU collects information from input devices, process the data, and after processing, process the data, then it sends that information to output devices. Okay, CPU takes information from input devices, process the data, and sends that information to, after processing, it sends that information to output devices. Okay, so this is the job of CPU. Okay, so CPU can process the data. CPU can process the data given by the user and gives outputs. CPU process the data given by the user and sends the result, okay, and gives result. Okay, right. So that is about CPU, Central Processing Units. Next, CPU has three components: ALU, CU, and MU. It has again three components: ALU, CU, and MU. First, we'll see about ALU. Okay, ALU stands for Arithmetic and Logical Unit. Arithmetic and logical units. Okay, the full form of ALU, or ALU stands for Arithmetic and Logical Units. It performs arithmetic calculations and logical calculations. Okay, ALU performs arithmetic and logical calculations or operations. Okay, ALU uses some operators. It uses some operators to perform arithmetic operations and logical operations. Okay, so what are the operators here? Arithmetic, logical. Right. So these are the arithmetic operators. These arithmetic operators are used to perform arithmetic operations. ALU uses these arithmetic operators to perform arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay, ALU, arithmetic logical unit, it performs arithmetic operations. These are the arithmetic operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. To perform these arithmetic operations, ALU uses these arithmetic operators. Okay, so plus, minus, all this, right? Next, ALU not only performs arithmetic calculations or arithmetic operations, it also performs logical operations or logical calculations involving comparisons. Okay, involving what? Comparisons, such as less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So all these are operators. Okay, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Next, two more operators also there here, equal to, not equal to. Okay, next, and operator, or operator, not operator. Okay, so ALU uses all these operators. ALU uses all these operators and or not to perform what? Arithmetic operations and logical operations or calculations. Okay, so clear? Next, one more pointer, important pointer here is ALU always, okay, ALU collects the information from memory units. ALU collects the information from memory unit and sends result to memory units. Okay, ALU collects the data or information from memory unit and it gives or it sends result or information to memory units. Okay, so that is about ALU. Next component of CPU is what? CU, control units. Next, CU. CU stands for control units. Okay, CU stands for control units. It controls the activities of the computer. Okay, control unit controls the activities of the computer. Control unit controls processing and all the devices. Okay, control unit controls processing and all the devices such as input devices and output devices. Okay, so clear? CU. And one more important pointer, CU contains data bus. Okay, CU contains data bus. What is data bus? Data bus is a collection of wires. Okay, data bus is a collection of wires that transfers the data, that carry the data from one unit to another unit. Okay. So clear? CU stands for control unit. It controls the activities of the computer. It controls processing and all the devices, okay, such as input devices and output devices. CU controls hardware devices also. Next, CU contains data bus. Data bus is a collection of wires used to transfer the data from one unit to another units. Okay, so that is about CU. And the next component of CPU is MU. MU stands for memory unit. Okay, so in the next session we will discuss about MU in detail. Okay, what is MU, what is memory, and types of memories. Okay, we will discuss in detail in the next class, next session. Okay, right. So this is about CPU. CPU is the most important part of the computer. Okay, the actual data processing, okay, the actual processing of data takes place in the CPU. Okay, so that is about CPU. Next, here, what is data processing? What is data processing? The action taken by a machine, the action taken by a machine to work on inputs and change it into outputs is called a data processing. Okay, so what is data processing? The action taken by a machine to work on inputs and change it into outputs is called a data processing. Next, what is data? The input that is given to the computer are known as data. Okay, so what is data processing and what is data? So that is about CPU. Next, output devices, third component of computer. What is outputs? The information that is given by the computer is called the outputs. Okay, and the devices that are used for outputs, the devices that are used for outputs are called output devices. Okay, so what is an output device? An output device that gives result. Okay, right. So some of the output devices are monitor, printer, speakers, plotter, projector, okay, etc. Okay, so all these devices are comes under output devices. Okay, so these are the examples of output devices. Okay, so this is about block diagram of computer or the elements of computer or the components of computer. Input devices, CPU, output devices. CPU has three components: ALU, CU, MU. Okay. Thank you very much. In the next class, we will discuss about MU.